Hawkins doing the commentary on these pictures. The following pictures that will be shown after these first few will be pictures from Grandma Frida's Hawkins' album, and the identification of the people that are on the pictures was done by Aunt Lottie Smevag, about 2 months before she had a stroke and died. These first few pictures are some that were from another album, and they'll be shown at a different place on the tape. This first picture is Doris and Ray. That's Aunt Soph. I don't know exactly where it was. This is Ruth and Ray. All these identifications were done by Aunt Lottie. Some of the rest of us, we knew part of the pictures. She seemed to know more of them than we did. This is Doris and Miggs and Ray. This is Grandpa C.R. Hawkins with his prize bull. And the lady in the foreground, we didn't know for sure who she was. This picture, Aunt Lottie didn't know, and I'm not sure. It's either Uncle Fred or Uncle Will. This picture is Os Slayton on the left. My dad, C.R. Hawkins, and Charlie Slayton on the right. This is Ruth and Ray sitting on the barnyard fence at the farm. This is some Sunday school class picture. Not sure whose class it was. This is Ray and Ruth again sitting in the front lawn at the farm. This is a Hefner's house, Walt Hefner. It's at their house. I don't know who the children are. This is supposedly Aunt Lottie and Doris, but I'm not sure about that. This is Lottie's Sunday school class, though. And this is Miggs at 1008 Vine Street. And some of the Dittman sisters, and the site definitely is at Neshonoc near West Salem. This is Ruth Schick and Aunt Soph, Aunt Ruth, Aunt Cara, and Lottie. At least that was a group that was together at the time that picture was taken. I'm not sure who this is. This is Ray. This is Miggs and Doris, and the older person's not identified. I thought it was Aunt Lottie, but she apparently didn't. This is Doris up on the windmill by the milk house and the dinner bell. This is Lottie with her friends in Minneapolis. This is also Aunt Lottie in Minneapolis. This is Lottie and the little fella, his name is Richard Colgren in Minneapolis. These are also pictures of when she was in Minneapolis. These were all in Grandma Frida's album, but I assume that the pictures that Aunt Lottie took and brought back. This is Grandma Hawkins and Ruthie at the farm husking corn, getting ready for the next meal. That's Uncle Fred with the Jersey cow. I don't know where the Jersey cow came from. This also Uncle Fred, apparently probably holding me, because that's before the truck ran into the house, so it must have been me, and I'm Ray. Occasionally we'll have to not identify these people because we don't have it. But that was Doris at Riverside Park, and this is Lottie and Doris at Riverside Park. That's Aunt Lottie with her friend Joe Upton. That's Joe Upton. This is Aunt Lottie, Aunt Cara, and Aunt Ruth in Minneapolis. That's the same group up in Minneapolis. This I figure is Charlie Schaller sitting in his car on their house on State Street. This group in the backyard at the farm we're not sure of. I got a feeling it might be some of the Exley children. Not sure about that. That must be Dad, though. This is Meigs, Doris, and Ruth with friends of the neighbor children from around the farm. This is Doris and Meigs at the farm. That's Ruthie in the backyard by the big old basswood tree. The outhouse in the background there. This is Ruth and Cara and Lottie, all Dittman sisters. This is at the Dells picture, and some of them were at the Dells. This is Ray on top of the cistern at the farm, and that's another picture of him. That's another picture back at the Dells. That's Frida Hawkins and Ray Hawkins and Heine on top of the cistern. He was our cow dog. That's Aunt Lottie in Love's Park, wherever Love's Park is. That's Aunt Soph down near their place on Vine Street. This is Alice Thuling, Augusta, Wisconsin. I don't know how she got in there or who she is. This is Hawkinses and Links. Oslink on the left, and Bill Hawkins and Bertha on the right, and Grandma Hawkins and Bessemer Hawkins and Sadie Link next to us on the left. And the children are Links or Hawkins children. The picture on the right is Grandma Frida with the twins. That's a picture of Harry Burroughs in front of a place in Los Angeles. This is Doris and Meigs, and the rest of, I'm sure, Ruth, and I don't know who all the rest of them were. That's Aunt Soph in Los Angeles. That's Doris and Meigs and the twins, Charlotte and Bill. That must be Doris and Meigs. Some of these pictures there won't get, there's no audio, and No identification given here. It's because we don't have the information, not sure who they are. Not sure about that one. That certainly is Doris and Meigs. This is Uncle Frank, and Doris and Meigs and Ray. That's Uncle Frank and Ida Hansen and Ray. Bud, Aunt Lottie has on here Bud, that's me. She, instead of calling me Ray, she called me Bud. That was Frida. This is Frida at some park. In other words, mother. These are the Kleinsmiths that lived near the Dittmans down on Vine Street. That's one of the old cars, an Overland, I believe, was one of the crew, but nobody was sure just where it was or when. It's Uncle Bill and my dad, Ray, in the background with Mother and the twins, Charlotte and Bill. That's Uncle Frank. That's Charlotte and Bill. Where it was taken, I don't know. That's Ruth, Kara, and Lottie down on Vine Street. This is Aunt Soph, the winter scene near Vine Street. That's Aunt Soph. That's Ray, C.R., Hawkins, and Doris there. Shortly, obviously, she was not very old at the time. That's Frida, Mother. Frida Hawkins and Doris. That's Uncle Ole and Lottie up on the windmill by the milk house and the old dinner bell on the post there. Mother and Dad out in the canoe. Sophie and Inez Thuing. Aunt Lottie thinks that's who that was. She's not sure. That's Aunt Ruth and Doris, she thinks, which I got some doubt about that too. That's Dad, C.R. Hawkins and Doris, Elaine Hawkins. That would have to be when she was less than a year old. That's an old buggy. That's Dad with Doris on his back in the yard before the buildings were redone. You can see how old they are, and the same goes for this. The little triangular chicken houses in the background. That's the family that's taken down near Vine Street anyway. This is Bessemer. In other words, that's Grandma Elaine Hawkins' mother. She died before I was born, but that was her holding Doris. Not sure about these pictures. This is a group picture of the crew down there Vine Street and some get-together. That's picture was of the farm before the truck ran into it, but I'm not sure who it is. That must be Aunt Ruth on the left holding one of the kids. We have to use our imagination on quite a few of these. That's Aunt Ruth with Doris. Doris and Miggs. That's Uncle Fred sitting on the old front porch at the farm. That's just a picture of the Hawkins home before the truck ran into the house. That's Karen and Lottie at Vine Street. That's Aunt Ruth Dittman. This is Aunt Jenny and George and Gilbert. It's in Chicago. Now this must be the Dittman girl's aunt. This is Aunt Ruth Dittman. That's Uncle Olaf Smevag, up a tree out at the farm. And that's Aunt Lottie, taking about the same time out somewhere around the farm, down the bottoms. Olaf, Lottie, and Joe Upton. This is Doris and Miggs, about 1913 at the farm. That's Dad and Sophie Link. No, Dad and Aunt Sophie and Mrs. Link, I guess it is. No, here we go now. That's Dad, C.R. Hawkins and Sadie Link. This is Ruth and Bud and Aunt Lottie. It's a swing at the farm. Nobody knows for sure which one of the kids that is. This is Doris Frieda holding Charlotte, Irma, Mrs. Schaller, Charlie Schaller, Gladys Schaller, Clifford and Grandma Hawkins holding Ruth, David Schaller, Ray Frank Hawkins. In other words, the Schallers and the Hawkins get together. Looks like it was down at the Schallers on State Street. This is Dad, C.R. Hawkins, Doris on the left, and Margaret Miggs on the right after they got through cleaning the barn one morning. These are the Hawkins girls, and the two in the background, we're not sure, but they could be the Exleys. Like, that's Grandma Hawkins and Ray and Frank, about the time he got married. Down at Charles Street, that was. These three I'm not sure of. I think this might be Mildred Exley and Clayton and Donald. And that's just a guess. These are the Dittman sisters and Aunt Ruth's husband and Oliver Sodergren, Caroline's husband, sitting in the foreground. Grandma Frida and Aunt Sophie.